Okay, so for the level 4 problem, Johnny has invested $1,000 into account A and $1,000 into account B, each described below. So we'll have this as account A, right, is simple interest paid at 15% per year. Account B, and I'll do this in blue, all right, pays an unknown interest rate compounded annually. Assume this interest rate does not change. Knows that in 10 years, both accounts will have the exact same amount of money. How much will Johnny have combined in both accounts in 30 years, assuming he never adds or withdraws any money from either? And your answer should be exact, no rounding. Show your steps. Okay, so for account A, we can calculate in 10 years. Remember, A is equal to the principal times 1 plus the rate times time. And here we have all our information for 10 years, both 10 years and 30 years. So our A is equal to our principal of $1,000. Remember, there's $1,000 in each. That's 1 plus our interest rate in this case is 15% times a time of 10 years. And when you plug that into your calculator, you would get A is equal to 1,000 times 2.5, which A is equal to $2,500. Now that brings us over to part 2B. Remember here we're working with A is equal to P times 1 plus R to the T. Now technically we would have an N and an N, but in this case it's annual, so we don't actually need an N because we're just compounding it once per year. So after 10 years, what we can say is we have a final amount of $2,500 is equal to P, which is our $1,000, because we have the same, times 1 plus R to the 10th power. All right. And so what we can then do is divide by 1,000, divide by 1,000, and we get 1 plus R to the 10th power is equal to 2.5. Now, you could do like a weird calculator thing where you do the 10th root of 1 plus R and the 10th root of 2.5, but that's actually not necessary because the next part we're told is that we want to know what it is in 30 years, all right? And so we know 1 plus R to the 10th power is 2.5. That's the number we multiply. All right, so let's actually look and see what would be in 30 years. So this is A is equal to P times 1 plus R to the 30th. Well, we know our P is 1,000. We can go ahead and put that in. A is equal to 1,000. Now, instead of writing it as 30, I can write it as 1.R to the 10th and then raise that to the third. Because remember, if I multiply exponents, 10 times 3 is equal to 30. All right. And then I already know that 1.1 plus R to the 10th is equal to 2.5 because that's where it is here. Actually, let me do this in an even different color. I can actually take this 1 point plus R to the 10th equals 2.5 and plug it in. And what I get is A is equal to 1,000 times 2.5 to the third power. Now you can either use your calculator or do it by hand, and you get your final amount in 30 years is $15,625, like that. So then the rest is quite simple. We just use our simple interest because we also need to know what this amount is going to be in 30 years. That's 1,000 times 1 plus 0.15 times 30. Type that in your calculator and you get $5,500. And then we just add that with our 15. Hold on, that looks super messy. That is $5,500. And then we have $15,625 from our account B for a total of $21,125. And that is how you can do it without having to round.